Welcome back. John and Tara Thorman here, your financial coaches.
Woo-hoo.
And we're doing things different today. We're not in the locker room.
Yeah.
We're actually just out on the lanai. That's Florida speak for a covered, screened-in porch for all you Northerners. And we've just been talking about credit cards,
Yeah.
right?
Fees and
Interest
expenses
and all that kind of stuff, and just talking about it and trying to understand it a little bit better. And so we thought we would do this completely different and just open up our conversation to include you,
right.
so you can listen in on how we're doing with that. But there's some golden nuggets in here. We got some solutions to help you reduce the interest that you're paying and get out of debt sooner. So stick around.
Yeah.
We did do a little look into the history of credit cards and when they started,
And just why.
Right.
And that's kind of interesting. I want to get better detail. It was for a gas company and a diner club.
an oil company.
Oil company and a
So
diner.
I think the oil companies were in the 1920s.
Yeah.
And then 1950 came out with Diners
Diner
Club, so you could like charge at restaurants.
Yeah.
And then it was 1957-ish,
59 where
or 58.
the Amex card is
American
first.
Express,
Mhm.
came out with their travel and kind of vacation usage, and then it wasn't, I don't think, until the 70s really where we got like the Visa, MasterCard that we're familiar with now.
Yeah.
Don't hold me to that. Like, that's kind of a general.
But it is very interesting.
Yeah.
I was just telling John that I was probably at least 34. I never had a credit card until I was 34.
Yeah, until you married me.
And so that meant everything was cash or check.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And I still prefer that, actually.
A lot has changed since then. Okay, we got married in 1995.
I'm pretty sure I was 34, maybe 35, but.
Yeah.
And then it was so new, and I remember spending. I remember getting trouble with it, too.
A lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of went off a deep end.
Happened to then get out of that trouble, and anyway, so anyway, we've been talking about credit cards and fees and expenses because we talked about fees last week with
on checking accounts.
Right.
Right.
So
guys, there's so much money to be saved.
Lost in fees.
Oh my gosh.
Just lost.
So much money to be saved on your credit card fees.
Yeah, the bill was due, and I paid it off.
Yeah.
And so we were talking about just interest, and if I didn't, and just making the minimum payment, and you were telling me that because the interest rate is variable, that
it could be different next month.
Right. And so if you making a minimum payment is a really bad idea.
Super bad idea, right? So
And
this might be, I mean, we're going to start really basic, but we'll get advanced, okay? So here's the deal. Credit cards are an unsecured revolving debt. And revolving meaning that the balance and your payments can go up and down every month in correlation with each other. And of course, that's completely different than what you're used to with a mortgage or a car loan, something like that, because they are not revolving and their payments are fixed. And what changes is the relationship between how much interest you pay versus how much principal you pay, right? That's a critical differentiation. Where if you have a credit card or a home equity line of credit, those are open-ended, and your balances can go up and down as you use them, and so can your payments go up and down as you use them, okay? And that's a really significant and important difference to understand, and we want to be able to leverage that to your advantage, okay? So, this is like dramatic, okay? So we're as a country in America, there's almost $1 trillion in debt on credit cards right now.
That's just throwing away money.
And so all-time high on credit card balance, right? $1 trillion. And at the same time, all-time high on the average interest rate. It's 20.69% on the big bank cards.
Right.
Your department store cards, like your
over 30, or
Macy's or Kohl's or Belk or whatever,
Dillard's.
yeah, 30%.
Yeah.
Right? So you could be easily spending $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a year
Right.
on interest to the credit card companies, and that's just a travesty.
Right.
Like that's so much wasted money.
Right. They do not prompt you to pay early. They prompt you to pay the
minimum.
amount. I know, on the due date. That is your prompt.
Yeah,
And,
right. Because remember, they make money by keeping you in debt, right? So the longer you're making payments, the better. So those minimum monthly payments
I want to.
are designed to keep you in debt forever.
I just said there's only a few. There's
Yeah.
eight common credit card fees.
Fees, okay.
An annual fee. Some, not all,
There's
but there are annual fees.
right, and that's really goes to an important point. There's different credit cards for different objectives
Yes.
and different purposes, right? So if you have no debt and you want to accumulate some, frequent flyer miles or reward points or whatever, like that's a completely different card than if you're in credit card debt and you need a way to try to reduce your interest, like completely different card. So you got to make sure that you're picking the right card for the situation that you're in, because it'll make a world of difference. Right.
And then
Because I saw one that had an $800 annual fee. Right. Well, if you're in debt, like that's not the card for you. Okay. Like that's just not probably the card for you. Yeah.
And I have another story behind that one. Some woman was wanting to know about getting rid of those cards because in doing that, she thought it would hurt her credit score, and it would. Anyway, that's a whole different thing, though.
Yeah. But that's probably less important, like a smaller factor than being out of debt.
Yeah.
Right, and reducing your debt to your limit ratio and all that kind of stuff.
All right, so the second one is interest charges. We talked a little bit about that in an earlier video, but lots of.
Know what your interest rate is. Know what your debt payments are. Hey, dude, we got a deal until midnight. Don't do that. Don't buy them.
I know that things that come up if you're looking for those deals, it'll be in your phone. Hey, remember what you just looked like at this on this Kohl's sale?
Yeah, you just looked at this great purse on Amazon. Are you sure you don't want to buy it?
Psst, I'm back. You want to re-scroll through and rethink? No, I don't. A late payment fee. Everybody, we all know what those are.
Right up to $40.
Yeah.
If you pay late.
That's not even probably what you purchased.
And here's what makes this worse, right?
Because you're getting what you wanted to on sale.
Yeah.
Or on clear.
So here's what makes this worse. If you
crazy.
If you pay late, then they could raise your rate. They'll give you a penalty rate because you're paying late.
Yeah.
So you go from 20% on a credit card to 30% on your credit card because of your history of late payments.
Yeah, I did not know that.
Yeah, they change it.
A penalty late fee.
They can change it whenever they want to.
A late fee, wow.
Right? This is a unsecured variable rate loan, right? It's open-ended, and they can change the rate on you whenever they want to or feel they need to for whatever reason they want to.
A foreign transaction fee, and that depends to not all credit cards, but it would be each time you swipe your card, some at 3%.
Right. So let's say you travel out of the country, you go to, from the U.S. to Canada, different country, great country. But, and you use your credit card there, there'll be a fee, 3% transaction fee for international funds.
Next, to transfer debt from one credit card to another.
We're going to talk about this, and we highly recommend this in the right circumstance. But and the reason why is because there are 0% interest rate credit cards for up to 21 months. So if you're carrying a balance, I guess we'll talk about it right now.
Well, because this one says that it's 3 to 5% per transfer with a $5 or $10 minimum fee, but it's still worth your while to do.
Yeah.
I'm guessing yes.
Well, if you're paying 20 or 30%, right? 100%. So here's the deal, right? We're talking about real interest expenses, dollars you're paying in interest, and you want to minimize it. So if you've got a bunch of different credit cards, it will be in your best interest to try to roll those over to a 0% interest rate credit card. And there's several of them out there that will give you a 0% rate for up to 21 months. Like that's almost 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
That gives you a lot of time
Yes.
to pay off that debt without incurring any interest expense. Huge, right? The cost to do that is that balance transfer fee, and there's credit cards out there that'll be just 3%. Some are 5, but you can find them for 3%, and that's just so much better than 20 or 30. Like, if you're in that situation and you've got a bunch of credit card debt at high interest rates, man, find you a balance transfer deal and roll that money over and get time to start paying that sucker off at a 0% interest rate.
Right.
Yeah.
Cash advance fee.
Yeah, that's kind of like a last ditch effort, frankly. And
you don't need that cash that's available on your credit card. I mean,
yeah,
that's
so
that can be hard.
that's a sign that you're
3
in
to
trouble.
5% fee.
Right?
Yeah.
That's a sign you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Or you just are completely not paying attention to anything about your money. But why would you pay a cash advance fee of 3 to 5%?
I know.
Like, not only do you pay a fee,
It's not even
but the interest rate on your cash advances are 30%.
nuts. I know.
Right? Like, you might have you do have different rates, right? Like, your usage of your card, there's a purchase rate that like 20%, but your cash advance rate's 30. Plus, you pay 3 to 5% for the privilege. Like, don't do that.
Right.
That's just not a good idea.
Over the limit fee.
You got to love that.
But I don't know.
Right? If you're balanced, like if your limit on your card's 10 grand and you go to like 10,500, boop, you're getting a fee.
Yeah. I mean, normally it is denied. I mean, you'll be denied.
Not on a credit card. They'll probably, because they want the fee.
Yes. Well, okay. Yeah.
It's different than a bank, like a debit card.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Return payment fee is another one. Usually up to $40.
Oh, I know. So there's about, what was it, 8 fees? 8 different fees we just talked about
And return. Yeah.
on credit cards. But the biggest deal is the interest that you're paying. And understand, the bank's objective is to keep you in debt for as long as possible so they can collect as much interest from you as possible. Your objective is the exact opposite, right? Your objective has got to be to minimize your interest payments, eliminate your interest payments, and get as much debt for zero as possible. Like you have got to get out of debt. Now, I don't want to discourage you from using credit cards. Like, depending on your situation, I think it's a great cash management tool, right? If you get a new card and you pay off the balance every month, it's a great cash management tool because you get almost 2 months of an interest-free loan. Where else can you do that? Like, that's awesome cash management, right? Keep your money in your savings account, earning 1 to 4% or whatever, and then use your credit card to float your money for almost 2 months at 0% interest. That's awesome. The catch is you have to pay that sucker off.
Right.
Pay it off in full, the whole balance.
So continuing to always be aware, just be a good manager, become a good manager of your money, your funds.
Right. But that's a really big deal. So I want to encourage you, if you have credit card debt that you're carrying on a month-to-month basis, you're going to need a different plan, right? One plan is apply and get a 0% interest rate credit card and put as much onto that as you can. And then get another card, okay, that has 0% on new purchases for 12 months or something like that. And use that for your ongoing expenditures, but pay that thing off every month.
Right.
Because you'll get almost 2 months for free, but pay that thing off every month and keep that money to yourself, because we're trying to eliminate interest payments. Because it could, if you got a few $100s a month in interest payments you could save over the next 2 years, like, we're talking real money. It's the compounding effect. It'll work for you or against you, right? We want it working for you.
Right.
So you gotta change this up. You gotta manage it better. That's what it is. Don't follow the credit card company's payment schedule. Do not do minimum payments. That'll keep you in debt forever. Okay? Do take advantage of offers for 0% for 21 months. Make that one card and get other cards that you can use for ongoing purchases every month, but pay them off in full. So that you got as much money as possible at 0% interest for as long as possible, and you can keep your cash earning interest
Yeah.
for as long as possible.
Yes.
Right?
Be strict with yourself.
Ugh.
Be a good manager of
Right.
your funds. Be accountable to your spouse, your best friend.
Your financial coach, like
Right,
work with someone that
yes.
can keep you accountable, right? That's the whole one of the big benefits of using a financial coach is they help you setting goals, they help you understand what's going on,
Right.
and they hold you accountable so that you perform
Right.
at your best,
Yes.
at your highest level,
Mm-hmm.
so that you can get out of debt, so you can get financially free.
Mm-hmm.
So, like this video, be sure to subscribe to the channel.
Questions? All of it have questions?
Yeah, if you've got questions, that's what we're here
Comments.
for. Comment down below, let us
Mhm.
know. We're here to help, right?
Mhm.
As financial coaches, we want to help you win your money game
Right.
and get to financial freedom as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess that's it for today. I know we're not in the locker room, we're outside in the lanai, which is Florida speak for a covered, screen enclosed patio.
Yeah, patio, porch.
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 A porch, if you're from Ohio. I don't know where you're from. Maybe you call it something different. You can let us know down below. But anyways, it's a little bit hot, but
Yeah.
we're good and thankful to be here. And look forward to hearing from you and seeing you on our next video. Okay? Bye.